We out here. Shakes board. We got fucking Gourmet in the building.
Greetings.
We got Decaf chilling. What's happening, Alex, bro?
Yes, nice day. Weekend, relaxed.
Yeah.
And yourself?
I mean, I'm cooling, bro. I'm chilling. I'm sitting back. You know what I'm saying? We're a bit behind schedule, but this is how we do things. You know what I'm saying? Yo, Decaf, how you doing, player?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm just taking it easy. It's Saturday today. Last night was pretty hectic, so that's why we're running a bit late. Everybody couldn't get their shit together on time. But we're here now, man. We're fucking here now.
Alright, let's get right into it. So our guest today he goes by the name of Gourmet. I call him Alex. Who's Gourmet? Who's Gourmet, bro?
I guess Gourmet is kind of like Optimum Alex. Yeah.
Alright.
Alex on 1,000,000%.
Yeah. Alright. I want to know who gave you the name. Did you give it to yourself?
No, it was actually my friend Torrixon, who also makes music. He actually came up with it.
He gave you the name. What you guys eating?
No, I was just like, what do you think of when you hear this music? And then he just said a bunch of things and that one just felt right.
It's funny you mentioned that because last night I was telling you that when I listen to your music, it sounds like something that's edible. So that's Gourmet. Shout out to your friend. What did you say the name was?
Torrixon.
Shout out to Torrixon.
Yummy.
You changed the game. Alright, bro. So who were you before Gourmet? Before that name came up? Did you have an alias?
Yeah, I made some music like under my own name, but that's in the past, you know?
Yeah. Alright, I feel you. Alright, let's get right into it. Where you from? Where were you born?
Originally in England, in London, and I lived in Wimbledon, where they play the tennis.
Yes, sir. Very interesting. I wanted to know something. What did your childhood bedroom look like when you were between the ages of 8 and 12?
Between
Like
8 and 12?
Yeah, like what did your bedroom look like? Just describe that visually.
That's a really long time ago, but
Yeah.
I think I had bright coloured walls. I'm trying
Yeah.
to figure out if it was that early, but I definitely had lots of photographs of heavy metal bands for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm not sure at that age. Maybe like lizards and like toucans, maybe. I don't know.
So were you like a poster collector? Did you collect posters and stuff like that?
Big time.
Big
Lots.
time. What kind of poster? Was it music? Was it celebrities? Was it athletes?
Music and like nature.
Nature. Yeah.
Probably like Arsenal Football Club when I was
Shout
younger.
out.
But
shout
also
out.
like S Club 7. So like, yeah.
I'm feeling you, bro. All right. Now that I know what your bedroom looked like, how did you get introduced to music production? You're a producer, right?
Yeah, I mean I play like guitar and bass and piano and I sing and then I'd make lots of stuff on the computer and yeah, I mean I've always kind of been in music though because my dad had a band when he was in his 20s and that was in the 60s because he's like in his 70s now.
Yeah.
And they like opened for the Who in London
Okay.
in the 60s, but that and I think he kind of just always was very encouraging of me to do music and he always played drums and then when we came to South Africa he started getting back into it and then he bought me an electric guitar.
That's exciting.
And that's also covered in stickers now and heavy metal things. But I don't know. Yeah, I guess. And I played violin before, but then like my friend Daniel Lichi, who you know quite well.
Shout out to Daniel.
Shout out.
Shout out to Daniel.
Yeah, I think he really got me into music production because he used to be like deep in the dubstep a long time ago. And then
Which year was this when he was deep into the dubstep? Teenage years?
Yeah.
High
Like
school.
grade 10, 11 kind
Yeah.
of thing. Yeah.
I first heard of Daniel through Ben. I think I was in grade 11, 10. Yeah, it could be. Definitely teenagers. But it was more. It was hard pumping music, bro. Like, it was hard pumping. And your sound compared to Daniel, you have a very. I'd say it's soft, it's polite, you know. Whereas Daniel, it's so moody. How do you guys manage to have such a, I don't know what English word best describes your relationship when it comes to music making, but you guys have very similar taste in music, but you produce music that's completely different. Do you want to tell me more about that? What's that vibe about?
I guess with Gourmet, he was kind of a part of the whole process of it from the beginning. So, like, or sort of, like, he was in Europe for a while when I started doing it, and then I don't know. I also do make like dance music and other types of music, but I just haven't released too much of it yet. But I guess we both just have an appreciation for like good, interesting music, regardless of
100%.
what kind of music it is.
100%. I'm gonna take a break from asking questions. I'm gonna give it to Decaf pretty soon. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, let's roll it. Let's roll it. Let's roll it.
Yo, so I was reading this article that you did, and then I listened to Yellow.
Oh yeah.
And I was just listening to it and listening to the lyrics, and a lot of it is about making people feel good and bringing people to a better state of mind, or just generally improving how people feel. Is that part of like your message in terms of your art that you make, or do you just keep that on a musical perspective, or do you try to generate that energy throughout all the things that you do? Because I also know that you design as well.
Yeah, I think definitely like the way society works and like advertising and like constant fucking brainwashing of information and whatnot, it creates like a lot of insecurities in society. And I think if people can just kind of put themselves in the third person and look back on themselves, you can really get rid of a lot of that stuff and then just allow yourself to be more free, because otherwise you're just not having a full experience, I believe. And I think if you can push that in music, and if you have like a real platform to do that from, it's very tight.
That's sick. And then some of your lyrics are also kind of like it's like a portrait of a night out. You know, you think you picture yourself being out having a good night, and you take into consideration like pop culture, nightlife, and you kind of interpret that with your music. What's your whole creative process like in terms of music and creating content, coming up with content?
I think it's definitely essential to just like look at everything all the time and just absorb everything. And I think people don't realize that subconsciously, if you like look at too much, like, I don't know, Kardashians or nonsense, it's just like it fucking sucks you in. And like, like people who just get obsessed of like on just the weird side of Instagram, and you're just like there's just the same selfie like 100 times, and they're just like, as I said before, it's like the experience, they're just losing experience. And I feel like a big part of the creative process is, I guess, giving yourself, like allowing yourself the privilege of having experiences and like really putting yourself out there. And then obviously there's all the technical stuff and making it, but from a process of actually making the music, it's always different. Like sometimes I'll write lyrics, sometimes I'll do drums, sometimes I'll do chords. So I really like to not know what's going to happen and what I'm going to do. It's just like as spontaneous as possible, I think. It's
interesting that you mentioned how people usually get drawn to things or look at things from like one dimension. And I think that happens a lot. I think it's easy for that to happen as well. If you take a look at where we're at in Cape Town, you look at the social circles that we at, the places that you go to all the time. You get pretty close to the way that people do things.
Definitely.
What do you think of that? The way that people are executing art in Cape Town, the way that people are executing design, because everybody's so close, it's so easy for things to come out looking the same, or it's so easy for things to bring across the same energy, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it's very tricky because there's like a lot of people. Or,
Yeah.
okay, not a lot of people. There's not a lot of people. Or, okay, there's, there's an amount of people doing really nice stuff.
Yeah.
But in general, it's... I wouldn't say a lot of stuff is on a very international standard. Well, let's put it that way.
Yeah.
But also, I do feel like it's got a lot to do with people just not looking at enough stuff or looking at enough of the
Yeah.
right stuff. Like, I studied advertising and graphic design and illustration, and the fact that they don't fucking talk about nature or
It's
like
pretty weird.
like it's
Yeah.
that's like perfect design.
Yeah, exactly.
And-
That's the thing. Yeah.
But then also just like look at everything and don't only look at stuff from now.
I think so
You
too.
just have to look at I don't
Yeah,
know.
it's weird when people look at creating and then they focus on one source of inspiration, where you could look at the way that people speak and the words that they use, and then you could look at the way that someone dresses and then the music that you make, and that could literally allow you to come up with the most fire creative piece you've ever fucking come up with. But people just like, yo,
Yeah.
I'm gonna make a song, so I gotta listen to this beat. You know, it's like I gotta make a song. I'll wear this fit, you know, to sound, you know, to get
Very
across what I really want to get across. That's interesting. That's
No,
interesting.
I definitely like. I have to be wearing the right clothes to be able to write certain types
What's
of music.
What's your favorite sneaker? The ones you're wearing right now?
Yeah,
Have you seen them in black? Have you seen them in black?
the black and green.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to have a pair and they got stolen.
Oh shit.
That was like a really bad
Yeah, those
day.
are
That was
fire.
horrible.
These are fire. These are fire. I got a thing for runners these days. I like bad sneakers. I don't know. It just makes you feel better, you know. It
They're
literally
really
makes you feel
comfy,
better.
also, like ridiculously.
Yeah, no, that's definitely what's up. That's definitely what's up. You mentioned that you grew up in England. Would you ever consider, you know, taking into consideration that things move a lot quicker, where art and pop culture is concerned? Things move quicker. Things move at a quicker space. There's room. There's a lot more room for whatever it is that you want to execute. Would you ever consider, you know what, I just need to be based? Because I think that's the thing for a lot of us. You get to a point where you feel like, I've touched all the areas that I need to touch, and now I need to move. You ever-
Yeah, man, no, for sure. I'm actually, I'm moving, or I'm going to Berlin at the beginning of May for the rest of the year, and just
Yeah.
going to try and make it happen there.
Yeah.
And I just want to I want to play on the street every single day and just get the performance like as sharp as a samurai sword. And then try to play festivals around there. And
Yeah.
like I know a bunch of people around there, so it's
Yeah,
nice.
that's sick. Yeah, I might go to fucking Netherlands, Amsterdam in August for Appelsap.
Ooh, nice.
It's a music festival that runs in Amsterdam. It's fucking cool. So you guys should check that out.
Never let the plane come down. Forever on some fly shit, yeah, I got a vibe in, baby girl, know my sound. I'm real hiding this, baby, go fast for me, then I tell her slow it down. I ain't really worried about when my time gon' come, cause I know it's now. I've been really grinding, baby, come find me, gotta let me know you're down. I don't like driving, baby, I'm the pilot, never let the plane come down. Forever on some fly shit, yeah, I got a vibe in, baby girl, know my sound. I'm real hiding this, baby, go fast for me, then I tell her slow it down.
Oh, for real? Real expensive, my clothes. I'm reinventing flows. Presidential, my smoke. You guys are little clones.
Yo, Alex,
Hey,
let's
hey.
jump right into it, my G.
Yo, hello. What's up?
Global 1991. 1991 Global.
1991 Global. I was not born in 1991, no.
What's up, my G? Tell me more about.
So 1991 Global is
Tell me more, yeah.
like it's like a record label, creative collective-y sort of thing. That me and two friends started when we were like 18.
Yes, sir.
And I've released a lot of my music, or I've released all my music so far on there, and so has Daniel, otherwise known as Maxime Alexander. And
He's got a
Constantia
lot
Mom.
of aliases.
Yeah.
Constantia
Lychee.
Mom. Lychee, Skeng Doctor,
Dr. Skeng, the
Dr.
gimp,
Skeng.
gimp boy.
Man,
have you seen the pictures of him being a gimp?
You know them more than I
Have
do.
you seen that?
But that's the members. That's the members.
Okay. Anyway.
Anyway.
Another tough. Yeah, no, I've recently like parted ways, but
Yeah.
all on very good terms. It's just I've just kind of got to do my own thing for a little while.
Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, it's definitely something I'd like to pursue later on in life, but I just think if I want this to work like Gourmet, I need to put like 1,000,000% of my time into it.
Yeah, yeah. That's very interesting, bro. I'm
But
actually glad you're sharing that.
The next release is Fever Trails, but it's his new project called X Olympic, and it's like Radiohead meets Home Shake. It's amazing. It's like wild. So that's coming out in the next few months.
You backed that one.
I back it
100%.
really hard.
When it's coming out in like a month.
I think in the next few months, yeah.
100%. So what you been keeping up to as of recently, Maji?
So I'm painting a lot, and I'm really concentrating on Gourmet at the moment and trying to integrate like the art and the design and potential clothing ideas within that one project. Yeah, like I guess treating it a bit more like a brand than a music project.
Yes, sir.
But I have a vinyl coming out at the end
I
of the
feel
month.
like you're turning Gourmet into an experience.
Very much.
Full-on experience.
One day there'll be Gourmet World, which is going to be like a cannabis coffee shop, but all the walls are like beautiful fur.
Very, very
And there's just
international.
vinyl 70s Nigerian music playing the whole time, but it's a dispensary. But one day that's like millionaire dreams.
I
We'll
don't
all
have
be
to
there.
say anything else. So, you've mentioned tour.
Tour? Rickson?
Tour Rickson. You went on a tour with him and a couple other folks.
Yeah.
Elaborate, share with us.
So there's a group of us that have been friends for like a really long time, which is Alice, Phoebe Lou, and this band called Heroin, which are these two girls called Roxy and Helen.
Yes, sir.
And then Torrickson and myself, and Alice wanted to do a tour like around South Africa, but she wanted to see if she could do it herself, like totally independently. And and then we basically just worked on it for a few months. And she's just like amazing and can make everything happen. She's works so hard that it's incredible. But she also had a new song that came out with a music video, I think today or yesterday, called She, which you should check out. That's really cool. Sorry, I'm just like plugging everything right now.
Very interesting, bro. And did you guys get like external funding from outside parties, or was it all solely independent?
No, it was basically we played in like all these like weird not weird places, but we played in Cape Town, which was like a big show, and then we did Knysna, Nature's Valley, Port Elizabeth, and Hogsback. Alice's fan base is like so wide-reaching that it was like weeknights up there, and there was like 200 to 300 people every single night, so it was amazing. So it was a really great experience. Like I feel the day before we left, I was like, I just feel so fucking blessed to be a part of that. Like, yeah.
That's really wonderful. And are you guys planning any future tour with any more friends or same friends?
Well, we're all gonna be. I'm moving to Berlin in the beginning of May.
Oh, yes,
so
you
and
mentioned
from
that.
June we're all gonna be there.
Yeah.
So I assume we'll probably do a lot of stuff over there. Yeah.
Things are looking up, bro.
Things
are
are
looking up. I'm happy.
A week before the party, he doesn't mention the party. So he doesn't mention Born Out of Boredom presents Winner's Circle. He doesn't mention the Born Out of Boredom pop-up. He doesn't mention the new wordmark tees. He doesn't mention the new lookbook. Yo, but that's what's happening on the 28th of February. That's next week, Wednesday. Alex is also going to be playing a set. It's going to be pretty sick. Come through on Waiting Room on Wednesday. And then on Sunday, we've got a pop-up at Drawing Room. And a new lookbook, because you know swag. But yeah, man, that's it. We'll catch the third episode, B. That's your third one. One love from Born Out of Boredom. Take it easy.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was tight.
Yo.
Wow, we good.
Awesome. Gourmet's Instagram handle is at, well, it's right there on the screen.
It's
Oh, gee.
gourmet spaghetti boy.
Oh, gee.